Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Awesome God. Can you tell I listen to this? Awesome God. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Compliments of the season, VJ jumping. Give you praise. Hi, everyone. We give you praise, mighty God. Hello, Miss Victoria. You are highly lifted up. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Facebook. Hi, Instagram. How was everybody's Christmas? I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas with your loved ones and family members. I think it's about a week that I've been on. Hello, hello, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hello, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒂𝒂💐. Hello. Hello, Miss Adrian. Let's see. I sent you the email, Miss Adrian. Hello, yes, I just said 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hello, Yusuf Shade. I already see VJ jumping. Hi, Facebook, and hello, Miss Victoria. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Let's talk immigration. Let's wrap up the year. Compliments of the season to you as well. Hi, everyone. I had a great time with the boys and Chris. Well, Chris is one of the boys. Yeah. I've been so used to being the female around boys. So, growing up, I don't know if my mom is on, I was a tomboy. Believe it or not, I was a complete tomboy. Like the only difference between, I have an older brother, and there's 14, no, April, August, 16 months between us. Yeah, 16 months between us. And my mom would dress me up just like him because that's how I was comfortable. So, lady, I can remember photographs of me and my older brother in undershirt, white undershirt, and underwear, and low cut. And the only difference between my brother and I was just I had earrings. Yeah, just saying. So I've been used to being around boys all my life, and I have a younger brother. Yeah, I have a younger sister. Yeah, she's the baby of the house. Hi, everyone. So what are you guys planning? What is that? So people always say, what's your New Year resolution? I don't make New Year resolutions. I make prayer requests. And what I do is I write it down in a note first of each year. And then on December 31st, I look through it. And I thank God for all the requests that have been answered. And I thank God for all that were not answered, because I know either it's not time for those yet, or he's saying, no, that's not part of the plan I have for you. So that's what I do. I don't. Hi, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒕. Tunde, your festival. How are you? A happy New Year in advance to you as well. So I wanted to come on real quick. If you don't know my name, this is attorney Abisola Olale Samuel, immigration lawyer based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Right now on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And what did come on to do one more live before we wrap up the year? We give God the glory all the time for that we have sinned and that we have not sinned. Because remember, the Bible says the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It shall not tarry. We sometimes forget that God does not operate on our time schedule. We have to operate on his time schedule and his plans for our lives. So not only do you thank God for the blessings he has given you from January 1st to December 31st, you thank God for the blessings you think you wanted or you asked for and you did not get. Because guess what? The one major blessing he has given you that a lot of people did not get is he's giving you life. If on December 31st, 2021, you have life, every December 31st, you have life. That means he has given you yet another chance into a new era so you can try again. And because he's not done with you yet. That's the way I see it. So, Attorney Episella Olale, immigration lawyer. If you have an immigration case, regardless of the state you live in, we can and we do represent immigration clients in all states. Finally, God, our last package is out. See how long the receipt, postage receipt is? But Chris and I were up till 2 a.m. Because, see, I have all my assistants right now are virtual. Kobe taught us how to do that and has worked beautifully. So I've got declaration in form filling in cover letter, but everything comes to my email. And I have to do the final review. Because what? USCI isn't going to come after my assistant. They're going to come after me because my name's on it. And so every single paper is reviewed. I got to see what's going on. I got to see. I do 2 reviews actually. When everybody's done their part, they send it to me. I review and send back to whoever needs to correct their errors or whatever case may be. Send to clients. So you let us know is the information correct. If we have to make corrections, send it back to us. We make corrections, and then when everything is signed and everything needs to go out, comes back to me, and I have to review everything. So that's our way up to 2 a.m. Because got 2 VAWA cases. One had 2 children. 1 VAWA supplemental evidence. Request for evidence. And then I forget. I put the post up. I don't know. It's been a long day. But just like, when you finally get something done, like, yeah, that's how it feels today. So I wanted to come on to do this live just to wrap up the year, recap of the year, and answer questions you guys may have. And also to say I'm so grateful and very appreciative of everybody. Thank you all. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube, you have the topic in front of you is recap of the year. If you're on Instagram, obviously we don't have a banner across the screen, but we're doing a recap of the year, giving you tips on your adjustment of status, VAWA cases, H-1B cases, EB-2 cases, fiancé visa, and more. And if you have any questions, put them in the comment section, and we'll go through your questions, as many as I can take, and then we'll go from there. But let me just say thank you to everybody. I appreciate all the support for all those who have trusted us. One second. For all those who have trusted us with your immigration cases, understand one thing: I do not take it for granted. I do not. And I understand where you come from, where you're coming from, what your mindset is, your anxiety, all of that. I completely understand, coming from someone who has been on all kinds of visa. All kinds of visa. But that's where my passion comes from. If you need to contact our office, number is 334. Thank you. 341-4475. You can send an email to info@olalalawfirm.com. Send an email to AOS or CMB@olalalawfirm.com. Or visit our website at olalalawfirm.com. So let's do a recap of the year. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. I'll come back and answer as many as I can. Let's start with, I think Chris will have that information, but we did quite a number of adjustment of status, marriage-based, adjustment of status, employment-based, fiancé visa. But I think our top cases for the year were H-1B and VAWA. You would think VAWA would really be like top before H-1B. But keep in mind, I have 2 different universities that keep me busy. So knocking wood, I cannot complain. And I love H-1B petition. I love it because it's very straightforward. Well, for me, it's very straightforward because I've done it for years now. But I think where I would give the most tips will be for the VAWA cases. And here's why. Um, I, hello, real Lexi 24. A lot of people stay in abusive marriages. A lot of people are weighing their options and saying, well, I can wait and then let them file for me. And then after that, I can move on. Well, the problem with that is this: you keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and you keep allowing someone else to control your life. You haven't come this far, a very long way from the country you're coming from, to now be held hostage in your own life, in your own destiny, when you have an option. So let's start with VAWA tips. If you were on the bench or on the fence, I should say, this year, trying to figure out, should you go pull the trigger on the VAWA case? Should you go? Do you qualify? The first thing you need to know is knowledge is power. If you have the information you need, you will be able to know, first of all, do you qualify for VAWA? Secondly, if you qualify, how can you go about that? A lot of people, half of the cases that I have in my practice in VAWA cases, half were people who started on their own and then they got stuck. Immigration practice is way more than filing forms. You've got to understand that each VAWA case is completely different from the next. The fact that someone has this in their case doesn't mean, but everybody's got to satisfy the same requirements with different types of evidence. And so you need to have the knowledge. Have that knowledge. Do you qualify? If you qualify, what do you need to do? Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to ask questions. One thing that keeps a lot of people is the fear that the abuser will get to know. Hear me loud and clear when I tell you this. True, right? It's beyond just filling forms. Hear me loud and clear when I tell you this. USCIS cannot tell your abuser that you filed for VAWA. If I pick up the phone today as the attorney on the case and I call USCIS and say I'm calling to find information about a VAWA case, they will not give me any information on the case over the phone because they do not know. Even if I confirm all my information, which has happened a lot of times, they will say, because it's a protected case, we cannot give you any information. They will not even confirm the name of the client. That is how confidential VAWA is. So if you have the fear that your abuser is going to know, get over that fear. It's a confidential process. Know your options. Know that you have a way out of being manipulated with your immigration status. Don't get stuck in an abusive marriage. Another thing is, it's not just physical abuse. Mental abuse is a big deal. Emotional abuse is a big deal. I have a company that I use for all my VAWA cases for psychological evaluation. One of the cases that I sent out today, the lady's report was 52 pages. 52 pages of the evaluation. It's like, so know your facts and know the evidence that you need to have for your VAWA case. A one-page therapy note is not what VAWA is about. You need to have sessions with a licensed psychologist who understands immigration-related domestic violence and is willing to sit down, maybe more expensive than the regular Joe, but willing to sit down and write a detailed report. I review every report that is sent to me, and if I see that something does not match, and that's another thing, when you do your VAWA case, your declaration must not contradict your psychological evaluation. And the only way you can do that is to make sure you have eyes on both, where you are able to match and make sure your stories mesh. Because USCIS does not call you for an interview in a VAWA case. All they're going by is what you send. And by God, if they find just one discrepancy, that's what they will hold on to. I have 3 of our appeals based on discrepancy that was just one text message was out of place somewhere that makes sense. You've got to make sure your stories match. So don't be afraid. Find out your options. Get your power back. Please Do not, you've come a long way. Wait, Nigeria is like, for instance, Nigeria is like 14 hours away. And then you're going to come and let somebody else dictate to you how life is going to be? Heck no. But the best thing you can do for yourself is to get your information and get it right, not from street lawyers. There are a lot of lawyers without law degrees on the street. I won't consult, I won't share and all that. Case in point, I have a lady who was told to just file a VAWA because you could get a work permit. But now they send her an RFE and say, hey, 3 of the, how they send you the RFE, 3 of these requirements is missing. She's been stuck there. And the person who told her, go ahead and file for VAWA, one of the street lawyers, is nowhere to be found. Now she doesn't know what to do. I'm like, there was no basis for you to file VAWA to start with. That's just the truth. Know what you qualify for. Adjustment of status when it comes to marriage or employment-based. Be sure, especially with marriages, when you're waiting after an interview and you're waiting for a decision, you're just not waiting. Remember this. USCIS is using that time to still investigate your case. They will pay you unannounced visits. They can pay your relative or someone who wrote an affidavit on your behalf a visit at their job. So it's just not, oh, my case has been pending for 2 years. I haven't heard anything. No, they're just not sitting around. They're trying to see if your marriage was real, if you have good faith, you have bona fide evidence that they can actually verify. So remember that it's just not waiting around. You've got to be proactive with your case. If things have changed in your marriage, and you're no longer living together with your spouse, you come to a crossroad like, okay, you're still waiting on a decision, but things have gone bad. Why did things go bad? Do you at that point qualify for VAWA, or is it a case where things are, you've got to know what your options are rather than just sit down and say, hey, we're just waiting. And then they pay you a visit. And they say, okay, we came to your house and we have no sign that the other party lives here, and end of story, denied. Be proactive about your case. Employment-based, please make sure you understand what you're qualified for. I have a case now that I'm taking on that just between my services yesterday, the guy had someone file a national interest waiver on his behalf, on behalf of the employer actually, on their behalf, and because they're filing everything, but USCI is trying to make an argument that they do not need to file labor certification. Problem is, they didn't even file the ETA form at all. Just filed an I-140. Be informed. Please understand, when you're trying to save money, you end up paying more for trying to save money. Do it right the first time. Fiancé visa. Do you meet all the requirements? Someone told me today, someone said I can file for my fiancé, but I'm not a citizen yet. No, you cannot. It's very, very clear. Let me say this. People shouldn't be able to tell you what the law says. Immigration and Nationality Act is accessible to everybody. The law does not change unless it's amended and Congress passes that to change. There is Immigration Nationality Act that has been passed. That is, I think you lost me there real quick on Instagram. Am I back? Can you let me know on Instagram if I'm back? I think I went out just briefly. I think I'm back on Facebook, right? Facebook, it's breaking. Okay, I'm back. Okay, perfect. I think, I saw my internet just, But anyway, so, I lost my thought. What was I saying? Was anybody listening to me? My hair. But what I'm saying is fiancé visa, yes. They were told that as a green card holder, they can file for fiancé visa. Immigration and Nationality Act law says, for you to be eligible to file an I-129F fiancé visa, thank you. Oh, Luchelle's, you're listening. Everybody's listening. Thank you. You must be a citizen. No exceptions. I don't care who it is. Please do not pay people money for those who don't know what the heck they're talking about. I get very passionate because I represent people who have spent thousands. When I say literally thousands, I have a guy who I had another third consultation with, and I'm just dedicated to his case. We just don't know what route yet. Hopefully, this last consultation will give us some insight. Where he paid thousands to someone to file a VAWA petition, and they're nowhere to be found. Please know that you got to, don't go the cheap route and waste your life savings. Then you have to pay to fix the problem that somebody else causes in your life. Immigration is a big deal. You have come a mighty long way. Help God to help you. You ain't gonna mess things up and then say, you know what, okay, you don't work that way. Let me speak Southern English. But I say all that to say this. Recap: adjustment of status, VAWA cases, H-1B. Know your facts, know your eligibility grounds. Go to USCIS.gov if you have questions. Know what your questions are. Put them together. Schedule a consultation with an immigration attorney. Get answers to the questions. Even if you end up doing your case yourself, know the answers to the questions that you have, so you're not just guessing. So please, please, please be proactive about your case, and don't let someone else run. Loud and clear. Okay, thank you. Mr. Adebayo, compliments of the season to you. And all right, so let's go through. Let's see. So I'm going to take a question on Instagram. Your question is the very same question someone has on Instagram. So let me just go through that and take that real quick. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions today. Compliments. My hair, someone said today that I really thought you actually put highlights in your hair. How am I going to stop putting gray highlights in my hair? You're right. At 43. I'm 43. My hair is completely gray. But I kind of love it, I'm the kind of person, I just embrace who I am. I embrace in the slanted gap in my teeth, just the way God made me. You've got to be confident in how God made you, because there's a way He made you. There's a reason why He made you the way He made you. And if you love every bit of yourself, we're all very critical of ourselves. But if you love yourself first, nobody can ever bring you down. You just let it go in one ear, or not even go in any ear. But if it goes in when it comes on, like, oh, what the hell? And that's what I teach my boys. Okay, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you in advance as well. Okay. If you hear that's Chris's voice in the background. Okay, let's see. So you're asking about consultation. The other person who's asking about consultation. How can I set up an online meeting with you? We do a WhatsApp or Zoom. I had 8 consultations today. No, and I didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. And that's because I'm taking the rest of the week off. I gotta rest this brain. And my kids were with me from after school through last weekend. So then now with their dad until weekend. So mama can get some rest. So yeah, I had to pack in a lot today. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, in online consultation, we do Zoom or WhatsApp. 30 minutes consultation is $125. Now an hour is $225. We can. So I know Chris is going to probably increase the fees starting January 3rd. But if you want to set up a consultation for next week or the week after, you want to get the current fee, then you need to pay this week and then schedule your consultation. We don't have any dates until next week anyway, so there's nothing the rest of the week. But if you want to be able to get that fee right now, then you want to do that this week before Saturday. And you can go on the website, allahlawfirm.com. Let me show you back on Facebook here. Give me 1 second. Okay. allahlawfirm.com, OLALEYE lawfirm.com. Or just send a text to us and somebody will text you back. That's the fastest way we've seen that people will text you back the payment link for each option as well as the schedule link. We're trying to by end of the month, January, you should be able to do that, God willing. We narrow everything that way. All you need is just one link that will take you to everything. So work with us. We appreciate the patience. My marriage-based AOS interview was in December. No word from USCIS until today. Do we keep waiting, or what are my options going forward? You can do an e-service request and ask them, you let them know that your case is outside normal processing times. You can also do, once you've done that, you have the option of a congressional assistance request. You have the option of doing an ombudsman inquiry, which is the next level supervisory office to them. So, but in the meantime, like I just said, make sure you're just not sitting and living separate lives where they're going to use that against you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So I'm back now, right? It was breaking up. Yes. My spouse is a travel nurse, so we don't live together all the time, but he comes around every 2 weeks. Will that be an issue for green card? It will not be an issue. It would be something that would bring up, but as long as you have a reasonable explanation for that, then you should be fine. As long as you can show that you have other bona fide evidence of a good faith marriage and you're living together when he's not working, then that should be and you should have his a work schedule that shows why he's out of the town for as long as he is and when he's back home. I hope that answers your question. Just got my EAD card. How am I going to get the Social Security card? Thank you. They usually would send that to you automatically if you requested that they send you one. So if you did not request that, then you would have to go to the Social Security Administration office. If you did request that, then they will send you one as long as you check that. And you put in the address for them to send it. If you have a lawyer, ask your lawyer, they probably have that. Most of my clients, they will send that EAD and as well as the Social Security number to my office. If the case is closed based on insufficient evidence, is it advisable to reopen it or start afresh? If you don't have anything else, if you're going to use the same evidence and the same argument, it probably would be best to see what else you can add and just start all over again. Keeping in mind that if you file a motion to reopen, you're asking them to reopen the 485. They're not going to reopen a 765 or 131 until they actually approve your motion to reopen the 485, because the C9 work permit is not a standalone. It's attached to 485. So if you're looking to get a work permit, then you probably, and if you're still using the same evidence, you probably would be better off getting additional evidence and restarting. But that is something that will require a proper consultation, because that's very case specific to know exactly what is going on in your case. Okay. All right. So any more questions? No more questions? You're welcome, BJ Jumping. I love that nickname. BJ Jumping, what's your real name? Just asking. I love that nickname, by the way. So my nickname is B-Sam. Those went to, I went to FGGC Akure. So that's where, for the most part, I grew up being called Bisola. But I'm called Abby. Oh, Balaji. Okay. I'm called Abby. Because Abisola, that's my full name. And it's a lot easier for Americans. That Abisola is Abisola. But when they try the Olalea part, ooh, Lord have mercy. Well, for the most part, it's Olalea. I have one judge who knows how to pronounce my last name so well. Olalea. She's the American way, but she, African names, you have to break it down with every consonant, like O-L-A-L-E. She is the only one who really can pronounce the name, and that's because she's well traveled. She went to school with Nigerians. I'm telling you, it's just really refreshing to have someone in the South who, yeah. But for the most part, none of there was a day that we're having a criminal case. I had a criminal case, and I had to do a bond hearing to defend my client's one was going to be revoked. And we had a hearing. It lasted about an hour. So one of the officers who was a state witness was calling me Abby. I'm like, no, if you're going to call the DA, Mr. Griggers, you're going to refer to me as Miss Olay. And he had to be true. He goes, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I was like, you got to try. Because if they don't try, you let them get away with it. If I can pronounce your name, you can try to pronounce my name. That's all. When did biometric result get ready to check online? I don't understand your question. When did biometric result get ready to check online? I had a marriage-based interview last year, and I still haven't heard from them. What are my options? Yeah, I just answered that question. I think I just answered that question. So let's see if we can do a quick video. Anyone wants to do a quick video consultation before I jump off? Let me see, Facebook and YouTube people. What you got for me? Notice of intent to deny was sent due to suspected fake marriage divorce decree from Lagos. What should we do? You got to respond to it. If you know that your divorce decree is real, you want to probably contact a lawyer back home. Now, does anybody know what the status of the marriages conducted at the 𝒂𝐢𝐫𝐫 registry? It's not funny. Anybody following that story? So, when will USCIS get the result from FBI? USCIS is not going to use it from FBI. USCIS is FBI because it's the US government. But I don't know that. That's beyond something that you know. When you do your biometrics, they'll let you know your key. Biometrics is just for them to get your fingerprinted. It doesn't have anything to do with processing your case. It's part of what they have to use to process your case, but there's no processing time for biometric fingerprinting. You just have it done and then it's attached and applied to all your pending applications. I have applied for my what is WA renewal? You mean work authorization? And also, I wouldn't be needing a new biometrics. Thank you, ma'am. Work authorization. Yeah, if you're renewed, you already have your and your fingerprint. Even some of my marriage and VAWA cases, since COVID, I think half of my cases we just get a notice saying, we're able to. Good evening, Mr. West. Good evening, Mr. West. So. Yeah, I will be in touch with you next week when I get back. I love you, I believe in you, and I trust you. Keep doing the best you can. You're gonna make me cry. God is your strength. As for me and my family, we're holding. He's gonna make me cry. Oh my world. That is. Thank you. I'm going to put that on. Thank you, Mr. West. Thank you. See, okay. Thank you. I don't take credit for anything. I'm very feisty as an attorney and as an advocate, even as a mother. Ooh, don't play my kids. I take you down. I'm over 5 foot, but I take you down. People know. Don't play with my kids. But I think by nature, my mom used to tell me that I was the one who stood up for everyone else, and I was very shy. But I don't take credit for anything. I give God all the glory because, yeah, I figure work authorization. I just believe that, and one of the things I asked God for was when I went through my own immigration process and my immigration journey, I knew that was the one thing I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to be a vessel in the hands of God to use me to be able to represent the people that I know our culture, I know the traditions, I understand it, I can relate to the sacrifice we make in leaving your loved ones back home, coming to a foreign land to start afresh. I remember vividly back in Worcester, Massachusetts in 2003, 18 years ago, almost 19, when I said, use me as a vessel in your hands. It took a long time. Because 2003, I was going to sit for the New York bar. But then I got married. The marriage didn't work out. But I thank God because I got my two blessings from it. But based on that, everything was pushed in the back burner. My New York, I had registered. I had to give all that up. And then fast forward 2011, had to go back to law school after having two kids, after being in a miserable marriage, and still finding the strength that God alone can give you to go back to law school, drive an hour and a half one way to school, and have two kids to raise, and passing the Alabama bar and the New York bar. And I knew, even with that, I couldn't get him to offer me a job. But you know what? I look back and I say that every single door that I try to open, looking for a job, God blocked because He was setting me up for this to be able to be a full-time mother and run a business. So I can attend everything my kids have to do, well, if court hearings, but I can set that schedule, but still be an instrument in God's hands and being able to bless people's lives. And so the practice areas I've chosen: criminal defense, family law, and immigration. They're areas that I know that I can impact. I had a client a month ago that was looking at 20 years or more in prison for manslaughter. And jury came back with a misdemeanor that all he can get is 12 months. I do not take the credit, but I give God the glory. And I know that as long as I continue to decrease so that God Himself can increase, I know that I can affect people's lives. God using me, not me doing anything, but God using me as a vessel. And so thank you, Mr. West. I thank you all that you have entrusted me, entrusted Chris, entrusted our firm in being able to work on your behalf. And, we've lost the patience sometimes, and then we make up because just a client attorney relationship is just like a marriage or a sibling. We fight sometimes, but we make up, right? But being able to entrust us and to trust me to be used by God in your journey, I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. On behalf of Chris, we are very grateful. And in 2022, we believe that we will even be useful, continue to be useful in God's hands to bless you, to bless your loved ones. I know the feeling. I know the journey. I know the anxiety. I know the waiting. It is terrifying. Am I going to be deported? Am I going to get that change of status? But I want you to know this. God has brought you a mighty long way. He is not going to let you down. The battle is not for the weak. If you're still in it, it's because He's giving you strength that comes from God alone. And the battle is not yours, it is God's. Trust Him. Trust Him. Trust Him. I'm yet to see anyone who trusts God and fails. Trust Him. It is not about your time limit you put on God. It is about the time that He has set aside and appointed to give you that blessing. So your immigration process will go smoothly in 2022. Those who are all waiting for work permit, let's trust Him and know that it is not me. It is God who gives favor, and He uses people on earth. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And until next year, live, have a very, 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 very wonderful new year. And 2022 is going to be a game changer for all of us. And I will see you guys next year.